Jason Cox has become skilled at fixing up and selling properties for a profit.
Our method is to have around about 5 properties and flip one out every year, and that way you've got that cyclical 5-year turnaround in the properties. And so we bought properties, Port Douglas, all over the place.
Jason wants to continue claiming tax breaks for his existing properties, but accepts changes should apply to future investments.
I'm fine with that because I've got a daughter and I am concerned about rising house prices. So we need to do something.
Prices rose for a third straight month in April to a new record high, up 0.3% for the month and 3.2% for the year. More than $2,700 was added to the median home value. Darwin led the monthly gains, followed by Hobart, the regions, Perth, Brisbane, Canberra, Adelaide, Sydney and Melbourne.
I think we're still looking at price rises over the course of the year, with lower interest rates being the main tailwind.
The only mainstream party calling for a reduction in tax breaks this election is the Greens. It wants to scrap negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount on investment properties, with the exception of one property for existing owners. This Brisbane homeowner thinks that's sensible.
It feels like the country has changed, and not for the better, by making poorer and richer richer.
Laurent has paid off the family home and is looking to invest in a rental property. Despite standing to gain from generous housing tax breaks, he's disappointed the major parties haven't proposed changes this election.
I feel that the Australian public and the housing market would be much better served if the money that was used towards negative gearing would instead be used to build new homes.
The Grattan Institute wants to see negative gearing wound back and the capital gains discount reduced to 25%. Under that policy, it estimates prices would fall by about 1%, but it says $11 billion would be added to the budget bottom line, which could be used to build new homes.
We need to reform planning restrictions. We need to allow more building. I don't think property taxes are very important for the housing affordability crisis. The estimates of the changes will change house prices by 1%, 2%, 4%. It's a non-issue in terms of the big crisis we're facing. To address that, we need to boost supply.
Downward pressure on prices would boost affordability.
If house prices were to fall by, say, 5 to 10% over a 3-year period, that would do more to improve the chances of younger people becoming homeowners than anything that any government has done in the last 60 years.
Australia could withstand at least modest price falls in housing values. For example, we looked at resales data in the December quarter of last year and found that if we reduced across the board sales prices by 10%, you'd still have almost 90% of Australian home sellers making a gross profit.
It's a solid looking house, sweet.
Jason says to solve the housing crisis, politicians need to be more honest about the impact of their decisions.
I would be quite cautious about the detail because it can be a slippery slope.
A slippery slope that the major parties have steered away from this election.